Welcome back into the Winter Box League, ladies and gentlemen. So we are officially underway here. It's our final game of the day as we move on to the U17 division. Team White with a 3-0 series lead. And with the early possession here, making a change behind the play as well, while they still are able to get a shot towards the goaltender, James Sarkany, who comes into this game with 48 saves in his minutes played so far, splitting time with Aiden O'Sullivan. At the other end, it'll be Joseph Druce. Doesn't have to make a save on Blues' first shot attempt. And now it's a quick chance the other way for Silas Gagnon with Mills on his back and puts that straight into Sarkany, who makes the save. Tucks that up against his body. Pass up the floor now to Cale McMurray. Comes into this game as the leader in the league in terms of loose balls. 22 heading into this one. That shot goes wide off the end boards towards McMurray, and he'll settle it down. McMurray, fake shot. Now he'll fire, looking to the stick side, but Druce kept the shoulder in place. If Blue can get possession back, they got a fresh 30 here. It is thrown along the boards. Couple of stick handles to the middle, and scores. That's going to count. Ty LeMay gets his third of the Winter Box League, and Blue gets the game's all-important opening goal. Keeping White in their zone for a lengthy stretch of time. And we'll go back to the face-off circle now. Blue leading 1-0. Just over 2 minutes into the game. Jackson Foster will take some space now. Looking over to the far side for Owen Vandale. Couldn't take it cleanly, but still with possession and 15 on the shot clock. He'll wind and fire straight into Druce's stick. Sarkany comes out of his crease to make the play. Lobs that over top of the forechecker. It's Noah Campanile, who is the MVP of the last game of this series, and that could have been delay of game. The whistle had gone on the 10-second count. Now Blue takes it back. A 2-on-2 drive here as Evan Catton will take some space and shoot over the goal. Josh Mills comes into this tournament, has played every game, and has 1 goal. Oh, that crease dive made a ton of contact with Druce, who bounces right back up. No penalty either. Fast break chance now for White. Sarkany with the shoulder save. Silas Gagnon with some wheels to get up the floor in time. Now to the middle. Campanile protecting and shooting while he went airborne, and Sarkany with another stop. Fresh 30 here for White as they start to turn it on. Campanile over to the far wall. Now he's going to create some space as the pass comes across the crease, finds Robertson. Up top now, Gagnon gets around his man, looking 5-hole, and Sarkany took a peek behind him, but he did make the save, and it's thrown up to Howard Rogers. Now McMurray to Mills. Through the middle, pass is bobbled, it's still loose. For White eventually comes up with it. Here's Eli Smith, a new prospect into the Winter Box League. Gets it back and tries a twister, but couldn't get it on goal. Then he'll intercept that pass, one hand on his stick. At the end of his shift, he'll head off for a change now, while Liam Gaster takes it at the point. Gaster sets a screen. That pass is telegraphed in the direction of Huxley Cornwall. Now picked up. Here's McMurray on his wrong side. Faking the shot, then throws the pass through the middle, looking for Liam Posterski, who leads the league in goals with 8. Posterski has it again. Check that, it's Hatchula. Now Liam Posterski was able to get it to Cale McMurray before finding Hatchula. Posterski will swim, lost the handle as Druce found that in his blue paint. And gets things going back in favor of White, who trail 1-0. Quickly over the center line. Liam Gaster. Change behind the play, so White right now going 4-on-5. Looking for a shot in that set as well. Sarkany down to his knees and able to reach out of his crease and find possession. Bit of pressure here from White on Blues breakout. And unable to get over center in time. Ty LeMay had some problems there. Now the ball is loose at center thanks to Jackson Foster. 1-on-2 right now, but it forces White on their own side of center. Last touching a blue stick though, so no back over call. Here's Seth Kufsky. Drives around his man. Looking towards the middle, missed the target, but White still able to find possession with 5 on the clock. Shot on, Sarkany will knock that loose to the wall. Looked like it was going to be an easy loose ball there for White. All of a sudden, Ty LeMay just found it in his stick. Makes quicker work this time of the breakout. There's a man open in front, a reverse backhand that would be denied by Druce. Took that right into the logo. Brixton McIntyre, quick sprint over the line. Here's Robertson. One more to the far side. Trailer is Silas Gagnon. Rolls to the middle, gets it back, he'll shoot. Sarkany with the save, and again he peeked over his shoulder, but the rebound fell to the opposite side. Still made a save regardless, and it remains 1-0 with 4.5 to play. Quick sprint over center for Evan Catton. Finds space, Mills off the bar and in. Josh Mills shoots over top of the defender. Puts it in the back of the goal for Blues' 2-0 lead. Had a chance to talk with up-and-coming prospect Josh Mills ahead of this game. Well, I'll finish that thought in a moment because he tries around the world and steps down in the crease. A good call by the official right on the line, but Josh Mills was just talking about how much this game meant to him. He wanted to have a good individual performance for some reason in this game. And now has a goal on the board. Asked him as well about, the team performance. How important is the team's performance in this game with his team trailing 3-0 in the series, and gave me a no comment to that question. So he's protecting on the slash from Eli Smith. Gets it back to McMurray, and Mills decides he wants to stay on. You can really tell how much this game individually means to him. He wants it from McMurray. And then Mills gave the ball away. He's going to go back and try to chase down Noah Campanile, who gets there first, and now Mills is going to defend with one hand. Campanile at the end of his shift, he'll head off. 10 on the shot clock, 2.5 to play. Pass hit the trailer. Shot goes off a body. Mills vacating the defensive zone early. Gets to the bench while Blue takes possession just now in their crease. No pressure this time around for Team White. That allows an easy exit for Owen Vandale. McMurray may have just slipped a little bit. Pass to the far wall. LeMay, McMurray, 5 to shoot, tries the toe drag, gets wide, and Druce makes the save. Loose ball picked up by Eli Smith. Smith now will change. Gaster takes it for White. Trailer coming on is going to be Reese Robertson. Back in front, a nice stop there by Sarkany, and the clock winds down to about 80 seconds. It's LeMay. Nice burst of speed to get over center. Late change brings on Howard Rogers, and there's one more change to be made. Rogers with it. Sells his defender and then shot around. That missed the mark. Ball is still loose. Druce reaching for it, and that's going to wind down the shot clock. Into the final minute now of the first quarter. Blue still leading 2-0 over Team White. McIntyre drops. White just got over center in time. Carson Brown-John made a nice pass towards the middle. Now they get another chance on a twister, and so close to trickling through. Sarkany was able to get a piece with the left pad and then maybe unintentionally kicked that through the crease. Shot clock is off. Carson Brown-John with it again. Feeds up top. Hudson Clement. That shot off the end boards. Ball is knocked loose into the air. 5 seconds on the clock. If White can get possession back, they got to get something on goal. They do now as Gagnon gets over top, shoots, looking 5-hole, and Sarkany will make another save. The buzzer will go, and the teams will make their way towards their respective benches. Second quarter action here at the Winter Box League is coming up next. A quick breather, we're ready to go at the Winter Box League for quarter number 2. It is a 2-0 lead for Team Blue. Goals coming from Josh Mills and Ty LeMay. And White trying to climb their way back. So they'll work it to the corner first. Campanile with it. Screen is set on McMurray. Opens up space through the middle, and Campanile fired a pass through. That didn't work, and Sarkany will find the loose ball. McMurray reaching back, found some open space. Gets over center with just about a second to spare. So he looks over to his right. Caleb O'Connell was there. Check that, it was O'Connell. LeMay back to O'Connell now. He'll shoot off a defensive stick. Good read from Brixton McIntyre with his stick in a lane. And McIntyre is going to take it over center himself with speed, but Blue getting back into their own zone quickly. Now Sarkany with another stop off the backdoor feed. McMurray spinning away from Kufsky. McMurray almost ran himself into some trouble. Fakes the drive to the corner. Up top, Howard Rogers is there. McMurray decides to shoot, and Drews made a nice save. Ball is down. Blue has it again, and Drews with another stop. Nice rebound collected. Oh, and Vandale takes that out of the air. McMurray back down to the corner. Blue really wants that 3-0 lead. Pass down to Rogers. He'll drive through. Caught by a double team. Tries to put that between his legs and on goal. Winds up off the end boards. Once more, Blue found the loose ball, but ran out of time and also ran out of room. It's Liam Posterski. Couldn't make anything happen from behind the goal with that limited time left. Ball is thrown all the way down the floor, and luckily White able to come up with possession. Campanile heading off now to be replaced by Lee Healy. Carson Brown John will shoot right on. Sarkany with another stop. Blue with another loose ball. Looking up to Mills. First man off the bench. Gets pinned in the corner. Mills wants it back. Makes sure to shout at his teammates that he wants the ball. And then he got knocked loose. A good read by Carson Brown John. Took that away from Mills, who again just wants to stay on the offensive side of center. Mills gets it again, watched on by Smith. Crease dive across. Is that going to count? Yes, it will. 3-0 for Team Blue. It's crease dive, by Jackson Foster. That'll be his second of the tournament. And now we'll get a breather on the bench while his team continues to try to pour things on. Blue with another loose ball. Here's LeMay. 2-on-1 now, 3-on-1. LeMay steps into it. Can't get it through Joseph Drews. And a long pass ahead almost worked, but Silas Gagnon couldn't quite catch up to it. Now Sarkany got that away from the forechecker. Eli Smith deflects that out of play. Mills up to O'Connell. A second ball has made its way onto the floor. Hatchula. Mills wants it in the middle. Pass never came from O'Connell. O'Connell with it. He'll skip now to LeMay. LeMay working the two-man game. He's got 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Puts it off of Drews' shoulder. High off the glass. Mills having a hard time picking up this loose ball. Took him till pretty well center until he was able to pick it up. Now LeMay will skip it back across. O'Connell with a sidearm release, handled well by Drews. And Mills can't come up with that, Lucy. Here's Gagnon. One hand casual, he'll drive and shoot. Sarkany with a stop. White forcing the back in call as LeMay lost his footing. White wants a quick start. But they're going to be forced back to the corner. Now we're back underway. Liam Gaster's open at the point. He'll get it now to the near side. Back through the middle, looking for the trailer, Carson Brown John. Gagnon back up top to Smith. Carson Brown-John again. He'll shoot into the stick of Sarkany. Quickly into his stick, and he wants to lob that over top. Smith reaching for it, was able to get a deflection, but couldn't come up with a clean interception. McMurray hoping for that pass. He gets it on the backhander. Drews with a miraculous save on Cale McMurray. McMurray gets the rebound. That shot goes wide, hit the back of Drews, and they're going to call it a goal. After an unbelievable stop, the second shot went off the end boards, back off the goaltender and in, and the lead is up to 4-0. Not sure who got the last touch on that one. Owen Vandale, says the spotter in the arena. We think. Regardless, 4-0 lead for Team Blue. 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Posterski. 8 goals throughout the 3 games coming into this one. Nothing yet in this one, though. As they try to go low, but Drews kept the stick down. Under 5 to play, a one-timer in tight. Drews able to recover. White's got to get this over center now, running out of time. It'll be launched down the floor and intercepted. McMurray knocked loose from him. Good read by Noah Campanile. McMurray's in some trouble. He just has to throw this down the floor. It made its way all the way down, and Drews from his crease will collect. So White initially gave it away, but then Blue gave it right back, and White's going to try to turn this into a pick 6. So they look to the back door. Pass is good. Ran out of room, though. Here's Healy. Now gets the roll to the middle. Pass was too high, and Sarkany will glove it down. McMurray splits past Healy. Has a step to the goal if he wants it. He'll shoot a twister on, and Drews staring down McMurray. Made the save. Now McMurray tied up in the middle with a White defender. They'll both separate while Campanile looks to get White on the board. Can't as Sarkany steps over, and Campanile drops his stick in frustration. He's going to have to go back and defend now. Mills for O'Connell. O'Connell going to do some work on Healy. Back to Mills. A shot from the outside. An easy save for Drews on Josh Mills. Back to Mills again. He's stripped. Donovan Wallace got the stick out in time. Now Mills back to the point again. Near side, protecting through a couple of swinging sticks. Logan Hansen got the shot, but it went wide. There's a man open on the crease. Posterski will shoot off the butt end of Joseph Drews' goal stick. And that's going to be a back over as Mills, believe he tried to fire that through. And now we're going to get a delay of game call. Is that going to go against Mills? No, excuse me, it's not. But it comes off of the Mills back over. So Josh Mills continues to plague his team in one way or another. And now he had the audacity to try to stay out for the penalty kill. But kicked off the floor by everybody. And White's going to get a chance on the power play to find their first goal of the game. Looking to avoid going goalless in the first half of this game. They cause a turnover. Look to Eli Smith at the crease. Took a swing and a miss. White still with possession, though. Just 5 to shoot. Smith looking low. Sarkany with the save, and Blue will collect the loose ball. Only momentarily, though. White caused a turnover. Back to the point. Save is made by Sarkany. Ball loose once more and picked up by McComb. Looking towards the point for Gaster. Fakes the shot. McComb back to Gaster again. Gaster's pass is picked off. It's a shorthanded opportunity now for Blue. Jackson Foster will shoot, and Jackson Foster will score. It's a 5-0 lead in the final minute of the half. White is leading the series 3-0, but Blue with a good showing here and look to close out the half with this perfect start. Silas Gagnon able to win the draw. There's 30 seconds left in the power play, less than that in the half. So that shot will be denied by Sarkany. Couldn't control the rebound. Kevin Hatchula came over to collect. Another pass that was deflected. Gagnon has it, 10 seconds to go. Here's Smith. Fires from distance. Rebound collected and thrown all the way down by LeMay. That's going to do it for the first half of this game. White is held scoreless through 2 quarters. And we'll look for some heroics in the second half of this game. Blue up 5-0. We'll return with third quarter action after this. Back just in time for the start of the third quarter. It's a 5-0 game right now in favor of Team Blue. Goals coming from Josh Mills, Owen Vandale, 2 from Jackson Foster, and Tyler May has found the back of the net as well. So the penalty is over. Early shot on that would be stopped by Aiden O'Sullivan, who's come in to replace James Sarkany. A perfect first half for him. At the other end, there's also a change that's been made. Aiden Ferguson is into the game. Only one of the goaltenders named Aiden will be able to leave this game with a win. Right now, it'll be Aiden O'Sullivan looking to stare down the White forwards, and he makes a nice shoulder save there. McMurray will take it in his own zone, backpedaling away and launching one up. Trying to do help to deflect that, over to Kevin Hatchula, who's hounded, then gives it away. Liam Gaster gets away from Hatchula, takes space, and there's a man open in the middle. It's Gagnon with a backhander wide. Hatchula hoping for the rebound. It's taken away by Smith. Gagnon on his wrong side, looking back door, and McMurray may have been outside of the crease before he stepped through with possession. Made a nice interception, though, and the referee right there keeps it in favor of Blue, but McMurray gives it away to Gaster. Now Smith. with the extra medium-sized shorts. Gagnon to the corner. Another one to the middle. Twister while spinning. Nice stick save there. Gagnon goes to the goal again. Can't beat the netminder who makes another save. O'Sullivan's been busy here to start off the quarter. But has made every save he's needed to. Pass over to Rogers, missed the mark, and Smith wants the pass ahead. Problem, though, is Gagnon can't get through Rogers, but still able to make the pass through. Mills tries the wrap check, does not work, and then Hudson Clement ran out of room before he stepped through the crease. Mills, a hard pass to Owen Vandale. Vandale with a goal in the first half, absorbs a slash on his wrong side, he'll shoot, wide of the goal, off the corner boards, and a good showing of hands by Posterski, who feeds Rogers. Can't get it on goal. Back to the middle again, they shoot, and no goal. Crease violation, deems the official. Howard Rogers has his goal waved off. Campanile, one-hand shovel pass in front, also a crease violation, this time against White, though. Rogers with Carson Brown-John on his back. LeMay back to the near side. Evan Catton can't get around the defender. Huxley Cornwall. Catton wants to go back at Cornwall. Gets a switch, bringing over Carson Brown-John. Then they give it away. It's a 2-on-1 now for White. Led by McComb. McComb will shoot off the goaltender who lost sight of the rebound. It stayed in the crease. Remains a 5-0 game for Blue. Down to an E. Jackson Foster, who scored the late goal, shorthanded for Blue. He'll change to bring on Mills. Mills, as the trailer is on now, fakes the shot. He's on his wrong side. O'Connell. Good reception on that pass. He wants the dunk. He's wrestled down. Carson Brown-John will lob that towards center. Bounces its way into the stick of Campanile. A no-look pass right on, and where is it? It's pulled off the goal line. Somehow Aiden O'Sullivan might have got some help from his defender as well. Keeps this a 5-0 game. Mills hits the trailer. Vandale. McMurray backpedals away. Hard pass through. Back to Mills, steps into a twister, and he hit his own teammate Vandale. The rumors of Josh Mills being selfish continue here at the Winter Box League. Is upset with Owen Vandale, decides to shoot at his teammate. Now a back over call goes against White. McMurray tucks, drives, and shoots, but Ferguson got the shoulder up. McMurray with it again. Rogers wide open. He'll shoot right on. That'll be a stop again by Ferguson. Big rebound all the way down the floor. And Howard Rogers is going to have all sorts of time to make whatever decision he wants here. Still got to get this over center within the 10 seconds. He does so easily. Vandale to the corner. Gets the roll back to Rogers. Shot and a goal again. That beat Ferguson. And Howard Rogers will collect his first of the game to make this a 6-0 lead. Clean face-off win from Gagnon, but it's picked up by Catton, giving possession back to Blue. He'll feed across the crease, and Ferguson rebounds nicely after allowing the last goal against. Blue able to get the rebound, though, all the way towards the outside for Foster. He wants to shoot early in the clock. Now Clement. So he's a man off the bench, who is Nash Beaulieu. End of his shift, he'll head off. Eli Smith. That shot ricochets off the end boards, and Gagnon will shoot and score. Got that through O'Sullivan. Finally, White is on the board. It took them almost the entirety of 3 quarters. But Silas Gagnon, who has had plenty of chances in this game, finally able to cash in, and now he'll line up at the faceoff dot against the opposing number 14, Howard Rogers. Nice sign of respect between those two after a nice shot by Gagnon found the back of the goal. It's Campanile. Good battle for the loose ball. He's got Rogers on his back, peels away into the corner. Pass back to Gagnon. One more to the corner. Cornwall got it over to the lefties, and then it was left behind for Rogers to pick up. Lobbed forward towards LeMay, and that winds up bouncing over top of Hayden Ferguson. Now it's a 2-on-1 out of nowhere, but a great interception from Cornwall. Certainly saved a chance against. Smith to Gagnon. Off of his stick. Campanile came over to his wrong side, though, to keep possession in favor of White. Under 4 to play. Now in front, Gagnon denied. O'Sullivan with another stop. Eli Smith, watched on by Rogers. Passes down the wall. Shot downhill. Give O'Sullivan another stop and give White another rebound. Pickering has it now. Gets it back to the lefties. Here's Smith. One more to the corner. Smith will drive after the pass, create some space. Shot wide. There was a little room to the top corner, but that shot did not make its way on goal. It's McComb, the shooter, and here's Mills trickling forward onto a breakaway and scores. Well, all of a sudden he became the fastest player on the floor. The type of speed you only see from Josh Mills when he sees a clear lane to the goal, or when he's frustrated and about to take a penalty. But he does get his second of the game. He'll join now Jackson Foster as the only other member of this team blue with 2 goals in the game. And the lead is now 7-1. 2:20 to go. Team White right now electing to use the Oshawa Firewolves playbook on the offensive side. And somehow that found its way in. Leo Trentadue. Not much of an angle there, but still able to sneak that between the legs of Aiden Ferguson, and now it's an 8-1 lead. "90 seconds left in the third quarter. Feels like it's gut check time for Team White. Have 1 quarter remaining to score 7 goals, trying to tie this game, assuming that we head towards the final quarter of regulation with this being the score. Blue wants to try to add another. Foster. Now behind the goal, they want the dunk, but read well by Ferguson. Takes that off the outside of his shoulder. Into the final minute. Here's Smith. Gagnon, who has the 1 goal for Team White. Not going to beat O'Sullivan from there. And then the pass back towards Clement was out of his reach, and that's going to be an unforced error for Team White. Blues got 25 seconds to try to make something happen here before the end of the quarter. And they're going to pull their goaltender. Go 6-on-5 in the final minute. You can really see how important this game is to Team Blue, but specifically to Josh Mills, who comes out as the extra attacker. And they're unable to get a shot on goal. That will close out the third quarter, and just one more remains with Blue in front, a commanding 8-1 lead, and we'll return for that fourth quarter in a moment. Back in time for the start of quarter number 4, and there's been some murmurs in the arena of maybe some illegal equipment, and we'll see if that gets called or not on the floor. May benefit Team White. The clock is on, and limited time here for White if they want to try to mount a comeback here, trailing by 7 and just 12 minutes of run time to try to turn the tides in their favor. Here's Gagnon right to the goal. A nice stop by O'Sullivan. The combination of Aiden O'Sullivan and James Sarkany have completely stifled the offense of Team White in this game. Right to the goal. It's waved off on the crease dive. Blue trying to take that right to the goal. It was Liam Posterski who would have that waved off. Now Eli Smith passes to Gaster, and another one down to Campanile. Campanile gets some space on the roll. O'Sullivan with a save and has to back onto his goal line to keep that one out. He was on his heels. Campanile just tried to catch him sleeping on the rebound. Did not work out in their favor, and Blue will get back over the line to Jackson Foster, who wants to change. McMurray. Tried to feed Catton. That was high off his stick. Carson Brown-John able to help knock that up to Campanile. Stick handling his way towards center and then knocked down McMurray. That's going to be an interference call to give Blue possession back. Posterski cannot beat the goaltender 5-hole. Nice stick stop there. Carson Brown-John bobbled it. Now Posterski's going to pressure and take an interference call. Possession back to White. There's a drive for Kufsky. Defended by Foster, so they hit the trailer. Gaster has it, 15 on the clock. He'll spin away. One more spin move before he feeds the corner. 10 to shoot now. Back across to Seth Kufsky. Can't beat O'Sullivan, and the rebound will be collected. Logan Hansen has it. Looking for a target. can't find one, and that's going to be the 10-second count. Possession back to White. Slow numbers here, depending on how they play this. Shot goes wide. White will get the loose ball, though. Here's Clement. Nice spin move. Slide came over and forced him away from the lane in. Again, and cutting to the middle, they'll shoot low on O'Sullivan. That might be in the scouting report, but they might have to go back to the tape because Aiden Sullivan is allowing nothing down low right now and has allowed just one goal against. Came back in the third quarter, and it came at the hands of Silas Gagnon on his 6th of the tournament. Trentadue wanted it back, did not get it. O'Connell spins off on McIntyre. Great defense there, specifically from Brixton McIntyre. Kept the lefties away from the middle. McIntyre now will change as Gaster cuts through. He'll shoot off the end boards. Eli Smith has it now. Smith has room. He'll shoot on, and O'Sullivan kicks that wide. Gaster back to Smith. Again, can't beat O'Sullivan. Good job there to control the rebound. Under 8 to play. Getting pretty close to White needing a goal per minute right now. If they have any hope at tying this game, here's Josh Mills. Now Rogers. That shot took a deflection. Goes high off the boards, and the shot clock winds down regardless. White has it. Here's Smith. Can't reach it with one hand. O'Sullivan will leave for Mills. Up to Howard Rogers. Takes that over the line. He's got a man coming off the bench in Catton. To the middle. That hit the butt end again of Ferguson's stick. The second time we've seen that in this game. Still winds up as a fresh 30. They try the one-timer to Catton from Rogers. White takes the ball. Nice burst of speed here from Noah Campanile. Campanile, backhand pass. Couldn't reach Nash Beaulieu on the roll to the middle, but a nice pick and roll play from that combination. And then Owen Vandale couldn't clear. Campanile missed the ball. Had room into the top corner with O'Sullivan a little bit late to step over, but Campanile gets the rebound. No low official right now for Team Blue. Or while the conversation happens over at the Team Blue bench, excuse me. Both officials electing to just hang out at center. Don't think I've seen this tactic all too often. Backhander on. That'll be stopped by Ferguson. So we are now in a position, well, now it's going to be more than just a goal per minute. It's Catton on a nice pass through, fires over the shoulder of Ferguson, make it a 9-1 game. Bad to worse for Team White. Maybe it's due to the fact that, I mean, they technically did already win the series, sweeping it 3-0. So maybe they just took their foot off the gas a little bit here, but this has just looked like a completely different Team White squad than what we've seen all tournament long at the Winter Box League. Now Jackson Foster falls victim to the turf monster, although playing on concrete here. So it might have been the ghost of Christmas past. Dunk from Reese Robertson does not work. Blue takes possession back. Long pass is out of the reach of Foster. Ferguson takes it from his crease, launches that ahead. Both teams playing a little sloppy right now, and Posterski will do battle with Clement. Blue able to come up with it. Trentadue on his wrong side. Hits the trailers. Foster will spin away. Sees a man open in the middle. Trentadue sets the screen. Foster back to Trentadue, and he'll put that off the end boards. Foster having a tough time finding that rebound, and Ferguson has seen enough. He'll take it back from his crease. Brixton McIntyre in some trouble. Just has a couple of seconds, able to launch that over to Eli Smith with a second to go. There's a delayed penalty coming up now against Blue. And it's going to be, there's the illegal equipment call that'll go against Josh Mills. And I may be mistaken, but he might be ejected from this game on that call. Yeah, the onus is on the player to know what is deemed legal and illegal, but Josh Mills has now been removed from this game, and it's a 5-minute major with 3.5 to play. White's got a chance here. Here's Smith. Back to the point. Campanile, far side. Gagnon will shoot, and somehow Aiden O'Sullivan bailing out Josh Mills, who's going to get a great seat to watch the rest of this game, but he will indeed be a spectator. Now Smith, he'll shoot on O'Sullivan with another save. If Blue is able to hang on to this somehow fragile 9-1 lead now, you can thank Aiden O'Sullivan, but you can also thank Josh Mills for putting them in this position. Back to Campanile. Pass across. Gagnon will skip to the near side. Gaster couldn't find a lane. Smith has his pass deflected. Campanile, fake pass across. He'll score. There's one. And Josh Mills looks anxious as ever in the box. It's now just a 7-goal deficit with 2:20 or 2.5 of run time. No, they're going to make it stop time now all of a sudden. Okay, well, let's put some time back on the score bug here. What a turn of events all of a sudden. White has an opportunity to do the unthinkable. And we actually may need to take a look at the stats by the end of this game, because now that we know that Mills has been playing with some illegal equipment and having 2 goals on the board, those may actually have to be taken off at some point. So this could actually be just a 7-2 game right now, and almost 7-3. But that would be denied again by O'Sullivan. Here's Smith. Up top, Campanile. Down to the crease. Pass was too hot to handle. It'll roll back to Eli Smith. Under 2 minutes to play. Gagnon protecting. He'll shoot right on, and O'Sullivan makes another stop. Rogers looking for the loose ball. Bats that away from Campanile, who kept after it. One hand on his stick, though. It'll trickle its way up the floor. And Blue's going to get the clear. They got 90 seconds to play in regulation. Again, if you missed it, still shorthanded for the remainder of this game off of a major illegal equipment penalty to Josh Mills. Drive through and a great save from Ferguson. Another one by Ferguson on the shovel shot. White will move ahead now. Here's Smith. He'll score. And we will again stop the clock now. So this is now a 9-3 game. Another power play goal on the major against Mills.
No, penalties never released.
Well, well, well. A 9-3 game officially right now, but remember, this could be a 7-3 game if we remove the goals from Mills. So now Gaster back up to work. Power play still goes on with this being a major. That goes out of play off the save. Gaster down to the crease. Shot will be stopped by O'Sullivan. Still alive. Gaster fakes the shot. He'll feed down low again. They try to skip. That'll be picked off by Catton. And now he's going to launch that ahead to McMurray, who couldn't handle it. There's just 23 seconds to go. And Blue can kill the rest of this game and have this score unofficially be the final. They wind up giving it away, though. Maybe time for one last chance for White to get another on the Mills penalty. Forced to the corner was McComb. Back up top, and that pass deflects off a stick. Well, they take the major. Well, specifically, Mills takes the major, and it does not wind up being a difference maker. Blue able to hang on and bail out their teammate. And 9-3 will be the final score. Thanks for joining us in another edition of the Winter Box League as Blue gets their first of the series and looks on to the next game tomorrow.